Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends to go over all the champions you're going to want to use in the Doom Tower and why. Also, we're going to talk about the psychology behind the Doom Tower really quick. Why are you going to be interested in doing it? Basically, what they do, it's the old carrot on the stick trick. Every 5 floors, every 3 floors, you're going to see you've got normal to do and hard to do at any time. So you're going to see within 3 more floors, you're going to get 50 gems. So you're going to want to get to those 3 floors, right? 1, 2, 3. You've got all month to do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to beat a floor. If you get up to 120 and you see that you're going to get a sacred shard for that, you will spend 30 minutes in a 30-minute long battle against that boss to get that sacred shard. Because you know you only have to do it one time, and then it'll reset at the end of the month, and you'll be able to do it all over again because that reward is there. It's all about having those rewards there. Now, if they're anything like all the traditional towers that I've played in the past, they will have those amazing rewards. If they don't, there is no reason to go through the tower at all. The whole thing is the carrot on the stick. That's it. You see that 3 floors from now, you get those 50 gems. 3 more floors, 5 more floors, you're going to get 100 energy. Then you're going to get like 10 million silver or something, right? You're going to get that void shard, that sacred shard, and you can see that. When you look at rewards, you see it. You see it at each wave. Here's what I get. Here's what I get. And you can see it on the map as you're going up. You see it on the side there. It makes you want to do it. Believe me, I know it. I've spent on other games at the last boss on these towers 30 minutes plus just to beat that boss because I knew if I beat that boss, I got the sacred shard. Depending on where it could have been at the beginning of the month because I got to it quickly. It could have been at the end of the month and I need to get it done before reset because then we're going to have a new boss come in and I'm going to be able to get back up there again and get another sacred shard. So the rewards have to be there. But if they're there, believe me, you will do whatever it takes to get up to each of those next tiers. Try to formulate a team to be able to do that. And we're going to talk about that right now. Like what works best in those type of tower environments. And really, what has always worked best in all the games I've played like that is turn meter reduction. Especially going through waves 1 through 9. Though this game does have different mini bosses. There were quite a few different mini bosses. But all the mini bosses aren't going to be like the dragon where they're immune to turn meter reduction. I will guess that a few will be, right? I'm sure a few of those out there will be immune to turn meter reduction. And those we're just going to have to come in with a, strategy because they're a mini boss anyway. So we're going to have videos on how to beat each mini boss, even depending on how hard it is, like what floor it might wind up on, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 110. We will still get a strategy out there for you to do it, hopefully with a easier free-to-play account than something hard. But turn meter reduction, anytime I played, multiple games that have a tower is always the easiest thing to do, especially AoE turn meter reduction. And then when you add a slow speed in on that, it gets even crazier. So this right here, Sylar, if you have her, I hope you use her. I mean, she's amazing in anything in this game right now anyways. Very good. I use her in Faction Wars 21 every single time it's up. I've used her before when I was coming up in a lot of the dungeons. I've used her in Ice Golem and plenty of videos. The thing is, when we come in on those waves and we're able to drop their turn meter, and then we're able to bring in somebody like Painkeeper with her to lower the cooldown by 1 even further. Then it's on a 3-turn cooldown. Or maybe you have some other kind of crazy champion. The thing to keep in mind is turn meter reduction. I'm not going to go over all the turn meter reduction right now champions out there. You can go onto Ayumi Love's website and look up turn meter reduction. See all the champions that have it, maybe even on their A1 that we can use to keep lowering the turn meter. Now, I will tell you, just like all the other towers that I've gone through, if you're going to do hard, they're not going to let you have duplicate champions. But they might let you do it on normal. Most times you can have 2 of the same champion, or 3 or 4 or 5 on normal. So if you had to come in with 2 Sylars going up, you could do that. I wouldn't necessarily want you to do that. I want you to make sure that you can do it on easy, that you can do it on hard then, and that you don't need to double up on champions. But this move alone, this woman alone, like in a stun set, is just going to be phenomenal. You're going to come in here, you're going to drop their turn meter by 40%, put slow speed on them, right? And then over here, accuracy down actually is not a bad thing, especially in something like the tower. And then over here, attack all enemies. So if you've got your Sylar set up, if you've been farming your stun artifacts, which I hope you have, then farm it up. Now you might have those cool artifacts that we're getting in the bazaar right now that can make it so a skill will not go on cooldown when you use it. Now if you get something like that, put them on her and go through the tower with stun artifacts on her along with bazaar accessories not resetting this cooldown from time to time. You could have it at 5% with 10% with 2 pieces, 15% with 3 pieces. That would be pretty amazing, right? The opposing team's not going to get a chance to do anything. They're going to get turn meter reduction, slow speed on them, turn meter reduction again. Again, if you want to bring in Renegade, if you want to bring in Painkeeper, which is really good too, throw that Painkeeper in your stun artifacts as well. I mean, you might as well. There's nothing that you really need on Painkeeper. So put her in a stun artifact set. That way when she does her AoE, you got a chance to stun again. It is really going to work out well for you in the tower. Now, another champion that I love, my favorite rare champion in the game that can get you through anything right now. Go ahead and look up the video I've done on him. Tanky Bellower in a stun artifact set. Another champion if you're looking for a rare to get through there. AoE again, but here's what he's really got that's special. Block cooldown skills. Now, nobody really ever pays attention a lot to this Bellower skill. This is super overpowered. It is just crazy overpowered that even this guy has it. Of course, he's got slow speed. We want that, right? We're already talking about dropping down turn meter, so we want to slow them down even further. Then we've got over here decrease attack, decrease defense. You can't beat that either. But this, locking out their skills. Now, you can increase this in your masteries, so it can go to 2 turns. For some reason, they've still made it so you can increase this in your masteries. I don't know why, because Hegemon for sure shouldn't be locking people out for 3 turns. I have a Hegemon now. I can say it just like I've said before I had a Hegemon, and I will say it even now that I have a Hegemon. Locking somebody out of their skills for 3 turns is nuts, but even locking them out on his A1 for 2 turns is crazy. And you're coming through there, you're locking those people out in the waves. Now, when you get to the boss, this guy will not be as effective unless it's some kind of boss that has a lot of side minions. If it's a boss like we fight a dragon or whatever else, sure, not going to really help us. Kind of positive their bosses won't be a zone in and you fight the boss. They might be. Again, they're trying to be a little bit different about it. There might not be waves leading up to the boss. Sometimes there are waves because then, you got to get through the waves. You got to find a way to do that, and then you got to be ready for the boss when you get to it. Though, some of these we might zone into just like we do the spider boss. So we'll have to wait and see. But regardless, Bellower is such a good champion for that. So he's going to be phenomenal for you. So just keep in mind, turn meter reduction, control, right? Even somebody like Torment can come back to life, lay down the freezes out there. That will really help us out. I feel like the waves cannot be that difficult. I'm just trying to think in my mind of like any combination of champions they could use because the waves are normal. They're normal. Sure, there might be a mini boss at the end like they do in a lot of other games where we have, this big guy right here, but he's a little bit bigger than his usual size. It'll be like going through the keeps. When we go through the keeps and we see that boss that's taller than the rest, then we've got those 2 on the sides. Usually going through the waves 1 through 9, it'll be like that for the 3rd wave. The stages 1 through 9. The 3rd wave will be like that. We'll have this big old guy, but he'll be bigger than usual, bigger than life, biggin, and he'll have 2 little side minions. But even still, turn meter reduction, right? Always control, because there's no way that they're going to, it just wouldn't make sense if this game said, okay, we're going to make bosses for everything out there that are immune to turn meter reduction, immune to all this stuff. Why do we even have champions then if you're going to make all the waves, not even the mini bosses, not even those, but if you're going to make all the waves have crazy immunity to everything? What is the point of us having these champions then? Because no other company has done that. I don't think this company would do that. I'm hoping they wouldn't do something like that. They shouldn't. So us getting through there, I just can't imagine it being that hard because there are so many good champions in the game for things where we can block damage, where we can turn meter reduction. And I'm not even talking about legendaries. Yes, there are a crazy amount of legendaries out there that do just fascinating things that can really lock down the champion. But I don't think we're going to have to play these type of guys. We should be able to go in there with a Sylar, with a Bellower, with a Gnarlhorn, AoE provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, and be able to take care of the situation. And even if we have to slow play it, back when I used to play towers, when I was first coming up in them, I would have to slow play it. But again, you don't care that carrot on the stick. You see that reward. You know that a reward is coming. All I got to do is beat 2 more stages. 2 more stages, and I get that juicy reward. So you work your butt off throughout the month. You talk to people about what's going on, and you do what you can do. But what has always helped me is anything with turn meter reduction. Also, if you can't get the damage going, if they've got too high of HP as you climb up, poisons. Always bring the poisons. We have a lot of champions in the game. Taurus is getting even better if you can keep him alive after he does the poisons. But there are many champions that will throw out the poisons out there on the enemy, so make sure you're ready to use them as well. And I think Taurus is going to be a big, nice one probably for it. AoE poisons. That way, I've done that too. I've done that a lot because you don't always have the strength and the power coming up in the game. Your Great Hall's not going to be maxed out. Something else isn't going to be ready. You're not going to be able to go in there with these like heavy hitters. We can. Some people can in certain stages. But sometimes once you get high enough, they have so much HP, so much defense, so much everything else. Until you formulate like that amazing team that can just blow through them and do everything you need, poisons get the job done and get you to your next reward. So I know you might not have a bad Alcazar, but again, there are other champions out there that can do poisons. I'm trying to look for a way to do AoE poison because we want to get through those waves quicker, and we want to just really, we want to make it easier on ourselves. Single target poison will work, sure, but I want to get poisons out there on everybody. Work down those champs. There might be revivers in those waves. That's why we want that turn meter reduction. We don't want those people to take turns whatsoever. We want to lock them down. We want to make sure nobody's going to revive. And we just want to kill everybody, move on to the next wave. Like right when there's one out of the last 5 that we're fighting, champions that we're fighting against, do your A1s, save your cooldowns, and be ready for that next wave. It's all about that. But I can't tell you, whatever you think about, turn meter reduction, get that Sylar ready, get her in a stun artifact set, get that Bellower if you've already got him in a stun artifact set, at least you've got him ready to use, and then whatever else you can think about in the game that does turn meter reduction for you and control. Like Sylar Drakes, I mean, she's going to be amazing for it, right? She's got an AoE 3-turn cooldown to try to stun some people. In the A1 that can do a little bit of turn meter reduction. She's so good for anything in this game, it's going to be even. It's going to be crazy on there. And then we've got people like Martyr that can do AoE provoke. We've got counterattack along with decreased defense and decreased attack on here. So she's got the whole shebang. But I don't think we're going to, again, we're not going to have these kind of people. If you could come in there with like a Sylar. I'm telling you, for some reason, I just feel like Sylar is going to be like the other champions I've played in those other games and just really hold it down. Especially if we can get her turn meter down a little bit with somebody like a Painkeeper or anything else we have to just drop their, what can they do if their turn meters drop down? They can't do anything. And then they're slowed as well. They just won't have a shot. And then if we have a couple other champions in there to keep dropping their turn meter as we're whittling their health down, there's nothing they can do. We've got it beat. And then we move on to the boss, which then, yes, if we can't drop their turn meter, we're going to have to do more creative things and find out how to beat that boss. But that's really all I got. Kind of common sense for most of you out there if you played all those other games. But I just thought I'd put it into your mind so you can get thinking about building up your Sylar. Maybe your Bellower is already built up. You want to put some artifact sets, or you want to go farm some artifact sets. You haven't been doing Fire Knight that much, or you might want to move around some things. There are going to be so many champions that are going to work so well for the Doom Tower. Just keep that in mind. For me, I'm all about getting that turn meter reduction out there. If you want to get, if you got champions like Mashallah that can do the fear, of course, fear is going to be insane. They're going to try to use their abilities. You got that fear up. Half of them are going to fizzle out, but that's not 100% for me. That might work great if you have a tanky team, if you're strong enough. But if you're not strong enough, I want to make sure I just keep their turn meter down. Keep the threat down. If we can keep cycling through that, keep it down like I've done before, that would be great. If not, we got to put up those poisons because we got to take them out a little bit faster. We got to put up those fears in case they slip by there. Or we got to start freezing them, stunning them, whatever we can do. It's all about that CC on those regular stages, not the mini boss stages. We'll have to see about the mini boss stages. We're going to have videos upon videos about all of those. But that's all I've got for this, guys. I don't know if that was helpful or not, but I just thought I'd want to talk to you about the Doom Tower because you know I am super excited about it. I can't wait. I don't know when it's going to be, but it better come. It better come soon. If you hear me out there, guys, Raid Shadow Legends, bring it to us soon, please. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I will see you guys all on a video soon.